friends of mine in the local grocery store. And of course, the conversation always comes around to real estate and this particular market that we're living in now. And I had explained a few things to them and told them to contact me at the office the next day, in which they did. And then we were able to go over their particular personal situation. And after many, many conversations and going over all of the short sale guidelines, this was a decision that they decided they really needed to move forward with. They had not at this point in time missed a payment, so the struggle within was very deep and concerning. We got through most of the grieving process together, and we are now at the acceptance to their position. Of course, we listed the property. All of the proper and complete paperwork was turned in to the bank before even the first payment was missed. Bank approval came within 30 days, and by the time the second payment was missed, the bank had set a closing date. This was with only one lender, not a second or a HELOC, and very dedicated processors, Cindy and Ed, with their diligence, got their approval through. They were able to get the lender to execute a full satisfaction and release of mortgage. This was a dream come true. From beginning to end, it was about approximately 57 days with a satisfied lender, a very relieved homeowner, and a happy buyer. This came due to the seller. This came about due to the seller getting with me very early on in the process. And remember that's a very important thing for anyone in distress to address, is to address it early. The seller also emailed me within 30 days to tell me that their credit score had been reduced by 25 points. This was an ideal short sale and a perfect storm.
At this time, I'd like to open the program up for any questions you might have. If you would like to ask a question up the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can just type in your question. We'll be able to see it and read the question and give you an answer. One of the questions we have received is, if the foreclosure sale date is very close, how do I postpone the sale date on my property? I'm going to see if Cindy would answer this for us, please.
The bank will not postpone a foreclosure date until they have a valid offer on the property. But what we would do in that case is just stay in constant contact with the bank. You would work with your agent to drop aggressively the price of the home so that we could enable an offer to come in. And then, I mean, I've seen a foreclosure be stopped 15 minutes prior to the sell date on the courthouse steps. So the banks are very good about working with you on that, believe it or not.
Okay, we have another question. How will a short sale affect my credit score? I think I'll let Dottie answer this one.
A foreclosure, let's talk just briefly about a complete foreclosure and your credit score. If you went through the foreclosure process, your score could be lowered anywhere from 250 to 300 points. Typically, this will affect a score for more than 3 years. So you really want to take a better look at the short sale process, where only late payments on a mortgage will show, and after a sale mortgage will be reported as paid or negotiated. This will lower the score as little as 50 points. Of course, in the story I told, it was only 25 points. So a short sales effect can be as brief as 12 to 18 months. Much better situation.
Okay, another question we have. In your experience, which lenders are better or worse to work with? And since Cindy works with all of our lenders directly, I'll turn that question over to Cindy.
I know everyone in this office is tired of me going up and down the hall going, oh my gosh, I don't want to speak with them anymore. And speaking with them, I mean a bank. at first I thought that it was Bank of America, but they've greatly improved their process on sometimes right as soon as they get the package, they order the BPO before it ever goes to a negotiator. So they've really greatly improved their process. SunTrust is so backlogged right now that it's taking months to get them to assign a negotiator. So Chase, they just went through a conversion where EMC, they bought out EMC, and they've converted their process too. So they've gotten better to work with. Most banks, I think, the more people become aware of this process, the banks are trying to streamline for their benefit as well as the homeowners' benefit, the process to enable it or make it more effective.
Thank you, Cindy. Another question we have, should I stay in my home or vacate it during the short sale process? I'll let Dottie respond to this one.
Absolutely stay in your home. Do not move. You'll have plenty of time to move, and we'll stay in close contact with you when the sale comes about with the contract and the timeline. But you do want to stay in the property. You want to keep the yard mowed. You want to keep it clean. You want to try to get the best possible price out of this property to keep your deficiency as low as possible. So do all the things that you would normally do when you're selling a home and keeping your property up. Box up your personal things, clean the property, replace burnout light bulbs. Just do the necessary things to keep your home the one that they want to make an offer on, because there's a lot of competition out there. So stay there, and we certainly do have time to give you to move.
Do most of the short sales involve more than one mortgage, and how does that complicate the sale? Cindy, I think I'll let you address this one.
I would say about 85% of the short sales that I have seen so far have involved a second mortgage. And as I touched on briefly earlier, it's very important that that you do start this process very early so that second mortgage isn't turned over to a third-party collector. It's really important that as soon as you get that package that it's sent in, not just the first mortgage holder, but the second lien holder as well, because you have to do a simultaneous short sale process with both of the lenders. You have to have a release of lien from that second lien holder to be able to close the property. That's why I also mentioned that it's very important on that authorization form that you initially fill out that you include that second lien holder as well as the HOA company, because we begin all of that right away.
We have an interesting question just showed up. If I buy a short sale, are there any warranties? Dottie, would you like to respond to this one?
Sure. No, there are no warranties. In some cases, the sellers have moved out. The appliances and systems have not been used for some time, or it's being sold as is. The bank won't help us through most of this. There are some occasions that the bank will help with some repairs, but there'll be no warranties. We always encourage the buyer to take out a home warranty. It's $350, $375, well worth it. Then if you move in the home and you do have problems down the road, 3 months, 6 months, and your air conditioner goes out or whatever, that your new home warranty will take care of that for you.
And I think it's important to consider that a lot of times the prices on these short sales or a foreclosure are extremely good prices, extremely good values, and there's always give and take. So if you're getting that type price, you're usually going to have to buy the home as is, and you're not going to be in a warranty situation. Another question we have is there any way a seller could receive cash at closing? We've heard lots about this, of people wondering if you can leave the closing with cash, so I'll turn that over to Dottie.
No, all the cash that comes in from a buyer goes to your lien holder. So, I mean, all of it. You can receive nothing outside of closing, nothing separate from your purchase and sale agreement. Everything has to be disclosed to the bank. If $1 extra is left over, your lender will get that. So you will not look forward to any proceeds at the end.
Okay, I believe our final question, unless we have any other come in, is it possible to sell my home to a relative?
Well, you know, Sherry, that's if you kind of use common sense here with that, you have to keep all of this at an arm's length transaction and disclosures to the bank. What kind of side deal would there be with a family member or a friend? So it all has to stay neutral and disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. So I would say no on that. And it's a much cleaner, a better, quicker transaction if you stay in the neutral zone with your seller, or your buyer, excuse me.
Okay, we don't have any other questions at this time, and we really do appreciate you listening in today. Again, it's Sherry Davidson, Dottie Lay, and Cindy Vaughn, all with Davidson Realty, and we are located in St. Augustine, Florida. So have a great day, and we hope to see you back for our next webinar.